C.
C.
J.
J. C. Jane's big breastises.
Just when you thought it was safe to pick up a manga or grab an anime, you thought that we'll get a bit of a rest. But if you clicked on this video and expected to get maybe a little bit of the Giant, or redo the Healer, or a little Goblin Slayer, High Rise Invasion, hit High School DxD, no, we're not gonna go really into that. And I have to thank, if I'm pronouncing her channel correctly, Sid Snap. I have to thank her for that. She's got a great channel with mangas and anime. You ever give her a subscribe over there? And she pointed out a particular manga that has caught my eye a bit. And when you hear the title and you say to yourself, oh, is this going to be cringy as hell? Oh, what are they doing here? We have a manga that is about breasts. Yes, that's right. We're talking about what some guys do like. What some people say at Thanksgiving dinner, which piece would you like? The breast. So we have one here called Breasts Are My Favorite Things in the World.
FBI, open up!
And this has a couple of mangas out there. They are pretty short for the average manga, from what I got from the comments. From the couple of pages that I read, and from what I got from the synopsis, it is basically, and before you say no, this is not about a guy in high school who loves breasts. This happens to be a girl who is really infatuated with the breasts. And you might say to yourself, well, she's probably a lesbian. It's kind of impiled, but not really. I don't think they pointed into that direction from what I've gotten. The main basis is the if I'm pronouncing it right, Shaki, the handsomest girl in school. Breasts are her passion in life, especially her friend Hamuro's. This Yuri comedy brings a whole new meaning to the life bosom buddies. Yes, that's right. And this is done by Wakami Konobu. He's also known for another series, Jaya-sama Won't Be Discouraged. Another interesting one on there. But basically, this is, from the panels you're seeing on here, it's a girl who just loves to grab breasts throughout this manga. Very interesting for a manga. But one thing about it is, and when you look at the pages, the detail is very good. There's one thing to come out of this. You may say because is the content like, it's okay in a way. It's not over the top, as they say, like a redo of the Healer. You can categorize in the ecchi, but just like right in the early part of ecchi, I would put it on there from what I've seen so far. It's not like high school D&D, but it does get a little bit there. Not all the way. I haven't seen any full nudity as far as the pages that I've seen so far. It's a lot of bra shots. And like I said, the details on this manga, the brush, it's drawn very nicely. I mean, you gotta say, the person who detailed this, the lingerie is just spot on there. And you may ask yourself, well, why do you want to talk about this? I said, it is an interesting title for this. I mean, this just comes out. I mean, this is coming from, there's another one out there that I should say not that I get in trouble with the YouTube gods with, which basically gets a little racy, which is supposed to be coming out, which I think it's getting an anime adaptation, and that's why the whole big premise. In fact, the American version is even tamed down from the Japanese title versions. But then again, you know, some of these titles, the way translations are done and stuff like that, sometimes they do it incorrectly. You know, with some wording, some phrasing and stuff like that. You know, they just don't really get it right. But in this case, getting it right, you have a situation where a girl is just going around just grabbing boobs. You know, she gets her moments. You know, back and forth throughout this whole thing. I mean, so far I think there are about four chapters, maybe 5, possibly on that. And from what I've seen, and yeah, it's about 5 volumes on this so far. I don't know if they finish it off, but from what I've read the comments, it's okay. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest manga in the world, but anime adaptation. Oh hell yeah! This one just alone for the title is. I mean, I'm surprised Twitter didn't have a Twitter storm on this one when this is out, because it's been out for a bit. I think it's got about a year, at least a year on this. But an anime adaptation, I'm still waiting for the Giant adaptation. That's another one that'll be interesting, but that'll be toward sort of the lines of Redo the Healer. And you know, it's fun sometimes to see, and this is the reason why anime is so good, is that they can joke around with stuff, with any subject matter. And some people will freak out of it, or a good amount of people will freak out of it. But you have to understand, when you look at it to the perspective, when it's something that you're saying, well, it's sexualized. Yeah, but they're doing it in a comedic sense. They're making it funny. And you've seen many of that. I mean, there's a couple of jokes in Another World with My Smartphone, where there's one character, and I forgot her name, but she's sort of, I think she's an elf, if I'm not mistaken. And there's one scene where they're invisible, and she goes grabbing the other girl's breasts on that and blaming the guy. He's like, I ain't doing that. He said, yo, come on, you're really doing it, and you like it. And she's infatuated with breasts in this in that series as well. But the smartphone anime is not as high up there. It's more toward a harem anime. You know, you're starting to see a lot of that now. A lot of harem animes that are coming out, and there's a couple of them that are coming, I think, are getting anime adaptations. There's one big one that's getting an anime adaptations, which sort of almost resembles in a way of a ecchi version of Why the Last Man. But we'll discuss that when that gets closer to a date on that. That's going to be interesting. But like I said, the detail on the drawings and stuff that are very good. The covers are basic, but they make their point. Is it a hit, pass, or just disregard? I think it's a good looking into. I've ordered already the first 2 volumes just to check them out. I mean, what I've seen of volume 1 is what I've read online. So, like I said, it is interesting. Like, I'm just finishing up on Giant, and I'm getting through High Rise Invasion, which that one's going to be, we're going to need to talk about. I'm not liking the anime too much. And the manga is the same way. It's not grabbing me as well, you know. And then we have the Pacific Rim anime that's coming out, in Godzilla, House Husband, and we got a big surprise coming on there. There's one other manga that's coming out I mean, an anime that's finally getting a new season. The Devil's a Part-Timer one, that they're getting another season, which is a shock on there. And then, of course, Shield Hero's already been announced, and we're going to discuss that as well on another edition of Man with the Show. So if you've gotten to this part of the video, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing this video. If you haven't yet, please do. If you enjoy the content on this program, we do appreciate that. It helps us move in the algorithm. It helps us on here. And all of our, wherever you're watching on our social media platforms, which are just in the description below, we're on various places on there. If you're watching this other than YouTube, we do appreciate that as well. I know there's some of you out there that don't like watching YouTube, and we understand that. And that's why we have stretched ourselves out to multiple platforms out there for your enjoyment. So do take part in the subscription. It helps us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. And please comment as well. And don't forget, hit that notification bell. That's also very important. Even though YouTube doesn't think of it being not that important anymore, but do it, please. It'll help you. You'll know on there. And in most cases, we're trying to get steady programming out. No, Tuesday through Thursday, Man with the Show. Friday is Saturday pre-flight. And we'll be adding more as the months go by. We'll be adding much more. So once again, thank you for tuning in. The title is "Breasts Are My Favorite Things in the World." Don't forget to catch it out. I believe before we leave, the first issue, I believe you have to order it outside Amazon. The others you should be able to get within Amazon, but I think the first issue was hardest to get. So until next time, thank you very much. Keep your hands to your side, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.